So there's my mountain walk on the way home from Weymouth. That's just where we come from, along there. Mine up there, it's where it disappeared to. There's lots of entrances down through here, you know, one here and all dotted all over the place. Exciting. I love Wales, it's a beautiful place. Quite strange, you know, sort of coming back up. Not strange, but I'm torn between sort of two places really. I'm actually, you know, lucky. I'm not torn between two places. I'm grateful for the life that I've been given really. You know, yeah. It's so you know, I love being up here, and I just had a lovely weekend. You know, being out in the mountains, I love it. You know, Rhiannon was working this weekend, so we got to hang out in the evening, which was lovely. It's great, you know. I like the solitude of being out here. Yeah, I love the solitude of being out here, you know, in the mountains and with the dog. Obviously, he's not here today. It's beautiful. You know, it's time for me to just, you know, just check out myself. Really, check out how I am, and it's good. I find it beneficial and it's healthy and it's good for my well-being, basically. You know, so that's got to be a good thing. So back home to Dorset via the tea shop, which would be nice. Nice cup of tea down in the Elam Valley. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so you know, I've got that freedom today where I can just jump in my vehicle. You know, I can jump in my vehicle and I can come up here and I can hang out with Rhiannon and Claire and Kai and, you know, have fun. And, you know, I've got my place back in Dorset as well. I've got my life back in Dorset. You know, and yeah, you know, so that's lovely. Just aware of the path here. You know, obviously these are really ancient paths here. You know, the zigzag here that the miners have used. You know, and I was reading the board back along and about Cwmystwyth. This is the area here, Cwmystwyth. You know, originally lead mines, I believe, and lead and copper, I think, lead and copper mines. Yeah, and for hundreds of years, you know, from the Middle Ages, people have been digging holes here and, you know, getting minerals out of the ground. And, you know, obviously, you know, there's been a lot of death and there's been a lot of suffering here and, you know, big industry here. There's big industry, but I think the fact of the matter is that a lot of these folks who used to live here, the miners and their families, were pretty much impoverished. They were slaves. They didn't have a high life expectancy and they had a tough life. They had a really tough life. You know, it's beautiful today, the sun's out. And you know, which is great. The sun's out, lovely and warm, spring day. It's really lovely to feel that sun coming in, you know, after all the wet in the winter. But yeah, you know, but coming up here on a proper Welsh day, you know, with the weather and the, you know, the snow and the fog and the wind and the rain and, you know, the elements being exposed out here, it's pretty, you know, pretty. It'd be tough, extremely tough life, depressing life, and yeah, you know, so just for me, just to come here, you know, this is the scenic route for me on the way home. It's the mountain road from Cwmystwyth to Ryder, and it's beautiful. You know, it's like, you know, I'm no rush to get back today. I've got all day, so you know, which is great. But yeah, you know, for mines, I was always growing up when we used to go up to Snowdonia, up to Manan's cottage. I was always you know, I was always obsessed by mines. You know, I was always obsessed by these mines and these holes in the ground. You know, I went to other worlds. I don't know what it was for me, but I was just always fascinated and obsessed by them. And yeah, so I couldn't help having a look today. Like I say, I parked the van, you know, down here. Parked the van up, and well, I was driving along the road actually, and seen some vans. Thought, oh, walkers, and I looked at it. Thought, looks like they've got boiler suits on, and you know, and abseiling race. Oh, wow, exciting! Wonder what they're up to. And so yeah, I stopped, and I felt like a bit of a naughty schoolboy actually, because I was following them up. And anyway, they sort of, I watched the path that they climbed up and disappeared, and I sort of hung back a bit. And yeah, so I've had a look. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to check them out on the internet and see if I can, you know, I'd love to have an explore around these places. You know, be really exciting. And so I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to go and have a look. Cambrian Mines Trust is what the people are called. The Cambrian Mines Trust. And yeah, I'm going to check them out. Why not? Something to do. Anyway, have a nice day. See you later.